Explorers in the further regions of experience. Demons to some, angels to others.
There is a fifth dimension, beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call the Twilight Zone.
You know what she did? Your canting daughter?
Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come.
Explorers in the further regions of experience. Demons to some, angels to others. Explorers in the further regions of experience. Demons to some, angels to others.
You know what she did?
So, quantum computing is a very technical subject, and I'm not going to talk a lot about the specific details. This quote is from a respectable scientist, in fact, one of the founders of this field, that may look a little strange to you who don't follow theoretical physics, but there is a very clear prediction that our most successful theory of nature makes. And that is that there are an enormous number, mind-bogglingly large number, of parallel realities, as real as this one, that have different consistent histories. So imagine a world where all of the laws of physics as we know them are obeyed, but different decisions were made along the way. Different decisions at the level of tiny microscopic particles, different decisions all the way up to what you chose to eat for lunch, and whether you chose to come to this session or not. Quantum mechanics makes a very specific prediction that all of those are as real as the thing that you remember. And this is bizarre, because we don't see those other things. But science has reached the point now where we can build machines that exploit those other worlds. So you may think, well, this is all fine and dandy, but aren't these things in the realm of theory and speculation kind of in the same regime as other futuristic things you may have heard of which may be allowed by the laws of physics but aren't here yet? That's not true. There are in fact many of these machines deployed now in openly available research centers following the model that was used to introduce supercomputers to the world. In quantum mechanics, there's this concept that a thing can exist in two states which are mutually exclusive at the same time, quote unquote. And I'm using those words because the English language was developed before we had concepts to describe what these things actually are doing. But I'm going to give you a roundabout way of understanding this. Imagine that there really are parallel universes out there, and now imagine you have two that are exactly identical in every respect, all the way out to the horizon as far as we can see, down to the last little atomic detail of every single thing, with only one difference. And that's the value of a little thing called a qubit on this chip, contraction of a quantum bit. And that qubit is very much like a bit or a transistor in a conventional computer. It has two distinct physical states, which we call 0 and 1 for bit. In a conventional computer, these are mutually exclusive. That device is either one or the other and never anything else. In a quantum computer, that device can be in a strange situation where these two parallel universes have a nexus, a point in space where they overlap. this may sound very odd to you and bizarre, and in fact I am using language that a normal theoretical physicist probably wouldn't use, but this is, what I'm telling you is absolutely correct and in line with the way that these things actually work. Alright, so now I'm getting into the last part of my talk where I'm going to make some predictions. This business of parallel universes is going to turn out to be very important. And I think what's going to happen is somebody is going to come up with an experiment to test this.
Your canting daughter.
You know who I am, I rock two turntables with Uncle Jam. I'm the Egyptian lover, baby, I'm number one. I'm a mix of scratch and rap and loving son of a gun. Rock the live dances on a freak night. The Egyptian lover, it's gonna be right. Make all the pretty girls scream while they dance, 'cause I'm the Egyptian lover, king of romance. What is a DJ if he can't scratch? What is a MC if he can't rap? What is a beat without a live clap? Well, I can do it all, baby, just like that. of the future about to blow your mind.
You know what she did?
There is a fifth dimension, beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call the Twilight Zone.
You know what she did?
In the further regions of experience, demons to some, angels to others.
You know what she did? Your canting daughter. You know what she did? Your canting daughter. You know what she did? Your canting daughter.
Who are you?
Explorers in the further regions of experience, demons to some, angels to others. Explorers in the further regions of experience, demons to some, angels to others.
There is a fifth dimension, beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call the Twilight Zone.
You know what she did? Your canting daughter.